Hi and welcome to another YouTube video. This video is a collab with the wonderful Tasia, and the same as in a collab that I did, I think exactly a week ago. She created a household for me and I then built a house specifically for this household and their story. So yeah, she also created a story and gave me a budget. So this was super interesting, and I think I'm just going to start with telling you their story. Meet the Orlandos. They are your, for the most part, typical family. Stay-at-home mother, working father, a son and a daughter. The mother works very hard and is mostly down to earth, but her and her husband love flaunting their wealth in party, mostly expensive jewelry, dresses, all of it. The parents are very proper. The kids? Not so much. They like to rebel and being laid back. They're looking for a new start in Mount Komorebi, something that fits the parents' desire for the traditional. And the budget is 100k. So I have to say, this prompt really got me out of my comfort zone, because the lot that I chose for them in Mount Komorebi was in the middle of the city, and there wasn't much chance, or it wouldn't have been fitting, to do a lot with terrain manipulation and something like a very huge, over-exaggerated landscaping, which I think usually makes my builds stand out, but it just wouldn't have been fitting for them and where they live now. And also, I'm not that familiar with the Japanese Mount Komorebi snowscape architecture. I think I've built 2 houses like this and did some research, but not in depth. So yeah, that also wasn't the style of house that I'm most familiar with. So yeah, I knew, okay, with this one I would be pulled out of my comfort zone, and that is so much fun. So, and also because I couldn't cover anything up with huge landscaping and stuff, I really had to focus on the core build and make this look as the good as possible, and that was definitely a challenge for me. And yeah, it was lots of fun, and just to focus on that. And the idea that I came up with was that they didn't really want to buy a super old traditional house in Mount Komorebi, but rather they had this plot of land and they went to an architect and they said we want all of the benefits of a newly built house, like the lower heating costs and the better network connection and stuff, but we want to make it look like the traditional Japanese houses just so that we fit in. So that's what the parents say to the architect, and so I am the architect in this case. So I took that role and I focused a lot on the shape. So for the shape I got a lot of inspiration pictures of traditional Japanese houses, and I found one that I really liked and I got inspired by the shape of that. So I focused on that with the roofs and the shape. But then I chose for the outer walls the lighter wood color to at the same time make it look like newer and fresh and kind of polished in a way, because these parents are very concerned with the way they are perceived from their neighbors and everyone around them. So I thought that was pretty fitting. And in the backyard, I wanted to create a space for them where they could host for a lot of guests. So on the one hand, I gave them a Zen garden so that they could show yeah, we want to learn a lot about your culture and we want to fit in. And yeah, so look at our nice Zen garden with the stones and stuff. Also, them not actually being from here gave me a nice excuse if I got something wrong, that they wanted to show yeah, we do this thing, but if they don't do it correctly, then it's a good excuse for me personally, if I made a mistake, that it's kind of fitting for them. And yeah, also they have this nice pool in the backyard, and they have a very chic seating area and this super expensive grill, so that they can host legendary neighborhood parties and show to all their neighbors, hey, we own like so much and we want to share it with you, with grilling for you and like hosting this party and stuff. I thought that was very fitting for the character of the parents. And also I gave them these overgrown monkey bars, which when you think about it are totally useless, because I think the plants that grow on them and also grow on the handles that you would need to use like to make your child swim, like climb along it, they are also overgrown and apparently with roses, so it being so overgrown makes this item basically totally useless if you're realistic, and that gives the children even more to rebel against. So yeah, I thought that was kind of like fitting for the overall yeah, atmosphere in this family. And then in the front yard, or this front area of the house, they on the one hand have a whirlpool or a jacuzzi, however you want to call it. And I think that's super funny, because I would never use a whirlpool in the front of a house where you can be like perceived by anyone while you want to be in the whirlpool. Like, I think that should be a more private thing, but I think it's very funny that this maybe isn't for usage or for personal space. It's more to show everyone like, yeah, we've got a whirlpool. And also they have this kind of almost old-timer but like super expensive looking black car that is probably an old Mercedes or Mustang or something. So yeah, I thought that was also pretty fitting that they put it like in the front of the house, like, look, we've got this car. And I think this whole like show off your wealth energy is something that's maybe not as well perceived in the culture that they now moved into. I'm not an expert, but as far as I know, that is a more Western thing and not that common in Asian cultures, just to like want to show off what you have. So yeah, I'm interested if they are going to clash a little bit here in this Mount Komorebi neighborhood. And when it came to the interior, I kind of lost this Asian inspiration, but that was totally deliberate, because I imagined them owning a house before this one, or at least a nicer rental place, so they would have had a lot of furniture before coming here. And yeah, I kind of imagined them coming from America, so I kind of gave them a very modern American-inspired interior that is like very modern and slightly industrial, and I thought that was a nice vibe for them. That was kind of like what I got from them, how they would like to decorate their interior, but maybe I'm wrong. Tasia can let me know. And yeah, so I gave them very nice appliances, especially in these rooms that are downstairs that also guests are going to see, because when I got upstairs to the bedrooms, I didn't have a lot of budget left, so it was kind of important like to tone it down a little bit upstairs, but I still wanted them to have nice appliances downstairs. And I have to say, I really like this open concept kitchen, dining room, living room mix, even though I have to say I think the space for the living room could have been a slightly bit bigger. Like, it was a little bit crammed into the corner, but other than that, I really like this room. But I think my favorite room in the whole house is the one that we are getting to now, which is the office space. So I think they also want to show the world that they are working hard, and so they would have a very nice office space with the two workplaces next to each other that are also kind of modern and chic and have some PCs on them, and then some yeah, cabinets or bookshelves with lots of like office papers and stuff in them. And then there is one corner of the office that has like a fireplace and a seating area when you need to just like sit down and think about something or have some sort of meeting with someone. That would be the perfect place to do it in. But sadly, I'm not as happy with the upstairs area than I was with the downstairs area, because when I got up here, I only had like slightly above 10k simoleons left, and there were the rooms for the 2 kids up here. Well, I kind of had to give them all of their character, and that wasn't easy. Especially because I'm not an expert as far as rebellious teens go. I never got my rebellious teen phase, so I didn't really know what to do for them, and I hope it's okay that I skip over the parents' bedroom, because it's just like a pretty typical adult bedroom. But yeah, so what I thought for the daughter, the teenage daughter, was that she wanted to go like super like colorful and chaotic and creative. So I saw that she had a lot of orange in her outfit, so I kind of took this orange inspiration for her room and made it like very orange, and I thought that if her room also looked a little bit crafty, as if she made all of these like little pots for the plants herself or painted them herself, and also her desk had all of these craft stuffs, I think her parents maybe wouldn't be approving of that much like crafting and all of that stuff, because like self-crafted things often don't have like the quality of stuff that machines have made, and the parents seem very like consumerist to me. So yeah, maybe they don't like that her daughter kind of dismisses their consumerist lifestyle and wants to do a little bit more of her stuff herself. And yeah, so that was kind of my way to imagine her to rebel. And then for the little boy, I imagined him to be basically just very chaotic and not that neat, basically. So I wanted to have clothes all over the floor and just some like filth around his desk. And yeah, just like a bunch of stuff that his parents would not approve of. And so I hope with their rooms I kind of got a way of rebelling across that isn't the super like black and grungy emo phase, or yeah, this sort of rebelling, but a little bit more nuanced rebelling. So just to do stuff that would be normal in other families that kind of drive these specific parents mad is, I think, yeah, a good way to go about this. And yeah, then I sadly didn't really have a budget left to decorate the upstairs hallway, so I'm very sorry that that one is a little bit empty. But I hope you like this build in general. It's almost done now, so I hope you liked and enjoyed this video. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and if you would consider subscribing, you would make me super duper happy. I hope we'll see each other again.